Good evening, everybody. Here we are for the coin pull. I'm going to be kind of quiet this evening. My voice is still just not there, and it doesn't take long for me to wear it out. I've been saving this up all day, and it probably only lasts me about an hour. But here is what we have going on. We're going to be doing a singles pull. This is going to be uncirculated wheat cents from the years 1934 through 1958. They can be short set wheat cents. All of them are uncirculated. There will be some browns, there will be some toners, there will be some reds, there will be some red browns, there will be a few fingerprints, a few spots, and other things like that here and there. But overall, these are in pretty good shape. Going to get started with the pull, but before that, we have 4 bonus chips. Bonus chips works this way. If I draw a bonus chip, then I draw your name, you get 2 coins instead of 1. I have 3 $10 certificate chips. I draw a $10 chip, I draw your name, you get $10 to spend. $10 comes off your next invoice. And then I've got 4 game chips. This is Cap Morgan's favorite. Cap Morgan's favorite game is, we've got the coins here from 1934 through 1958. We're doing it by date only, and the middle date in there is 1946. So if you're present, you're going to get to play the game. Well, I'm going to draw a coin out, and you'll get to tell me whether the next one is higher in date or lower in date, whether the date digits the number is higher or lower. If it's the same, you win, and you get to do it again. If you guess it right, higher or lower, you win, you get to do it again. And you do it until you fail. When you fail, you get that coin, and then we're done. We move on, and well, at some point, somebody else will get another game chip. We've got 4 of them here tonight. So let me get these all well mixed into the 370-something, 380-something chips I have in here this evening. 380. That's going to have to be a pretty quick pull. Let me get my box. I just noticed that my box needs to be kind of reorganized just a little bit to accommodate placing chips in with the coins. And then I will sort all this out, and it will be shipped to you with this week's auction winnings. Auction from a couple of nights ago. And if it so happens that you didn't have anything, you're going to get them shipped to you anyway. Oh, Matthew. Hello, Matthew. The way you enter, we'll have to work on this for next time because we're already getting started here. But you pay for it during one of the auctions. I bring it up as one of the items that you can buy. And the chips are $3.50 a piece for this particular draw. I also do poker chip draws for proof coins, which are cheaper. But I draw your name out like this, Ted Evans, and then the first coin in the box goes to you. And that one is this 1944D, goes straight to Ted Evans. So Ted gets a beautiful 1944D, and I move on to the next chip. Matthew, as soon as we can get you registered and get you in, next time we have one of these, I'll make sure I let you know via email that it's coming up so that we can get you in on it. Here's a 1955 for Parvas. There's Kelly Ray. Good evening, Kelly Ray. There's Mr. Fletcher, the guy who dodges me every time we have a show. Doesn't tell me he's going so I can look for him. Sand Digger gets a 1954D. Let me get on this a little bit closer. I'd really be able to see the coin than the chip. Here we go. There we go. A little bit better. All right. Yeah, that's for Sand Digger. Next in, Wanda. Well, Wanda starts her day with a 1958 Philadelphia. Nice red BU coin. Next up, Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley gets a 1937. 1937, nice red BU coin from 1937. Jeez, how old is that? It's like getting up on close to 90 years now. Sand Digger, back to Sand Digger again. And Sand Digger this time with a 1945 Philadelphia. Now, if you should happen to get duplicates in this, I will watch and see if I get any of the lesser duplicates like 1958D or something like that. No, I'll work on trying to get you swapped out for better coins, but for the most part, I'm not guaranteeing you don't get duplicates in this. So if you get a duplicate or two, it's not something that should be unexpected. Thank you, Farm Dog. I hope. 54S. There we go. 1954S for Ron Isaac. Now Mr. Fletcher. And Mr. Fletcher gets a 1946S. I'm starting to come around. I'm not sick anymore. I haven't been sick in a while. I'm still having a lot of trouble with my voice. Your Stone Cutter, 1953D. It's got a little Larry on it down there. A little fingerprint. Next up, Paul. Mr. Hampton. Mr. Hampton gets a 1957D. A nice Jimmy looking coin. And up next, Calipigian. Calipigian J gets a 1955P. 1955 Philadelphia. Back to Mr. Fletcher. 1949D. 1949 Denver. Hang out and watch some of the black chips come up. That's always fun. Here's one for Mickey Fur. Mickey now, 1940S. 1940 San Francisco. These coins have not been checked for varieties or errors. If you care about that sort of thing, you might want to give a good scope look at these. These just came straight out of rolls. There's another one for Parviz there. There's one for Shay Shay. Straight out of rolls, straight into the flips. 1945. 1945 Philly for Shay Shay. Kitty litter pails full of rolls. Something sounds intriguing. Here's one for Coins and Ghouls. Adam, it's a 1954S. Who's saying they've got a lot of rolls? Organizing a coin room. How I ended up with 5,000 rolls. You've got 5,000 rolls? Good gosh. Here's one for Sissy. Sissy now gets a 1944D. 1944D. And Elvis has entered the building. Sherman is in the room. Onion will pull out toxins while I sleep. Probably get the rest of the toxins out of me when I throw up in the morning from smelling it. Roger, 1948. 1948 Philadelphia. Ronald, Ronald Magany. Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. 1940 Denver. Paul. 1942. 42 for Paul. I'm looking into a couple of different possible coin buys coming up this summer, so I may end up with some good stuff within a month or so. Here's Sureg. Hey, how about that, Sureg? 1943D. 43 Denver. Zinc-coated steel. Jesse. There's a 47S for Jesse. Got some S-mints in here. That's something I'm not shy on here. Tyler. Mr. Lane. First time involved in one of these. First coin, 1945S. 1945S. No cloning the Sherman. Look at that. We got a game chip. Who's going to play the game? Taco John, you here? Is Mr. Taco John in the building? Taco, 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 Taco John. Give him about, 10 seconds. And then I'll have to play the game for him. 1946 is my break point. Everything 46 and above I call lower. Anything 45 and below I call higher. And we start off with a 1953 Philadelphia. So in 1953, Taco John has not noted his presence yet, so the game will be called by yours truly. Yours truly, 1953. We're going to call lower on that, and it's a 48. We have to call lower on the 48, and it's a 43. We call lower on, higher on the 43, and it's a 51. We call lower on the 51, and we get 53. So that's where Taco John stops. And that is how the game is played. Taco John ended up with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins out of that. Nowhere near the record, but we'll give it a shot. Hey, Patreus. Hey, look at that. I just pulled a $10 chip. That $10 chip goes to Sand Digger. How about that? Sand Digger, you got yourself a $10 chip. I'll set your chip off to the side with it. That way I can be sure I annotate your $10 winnings. Carl comes up next. And 56 Philadelphia for Carl. Up next, Sureg. 43S, 1943S. Malcolm. Malcolm. 1949 Philadelphia. It's always a tough one to get. 49 Philadelphia. Mickey. It's the last one in this row. And that turns out to be a 1946S. Nice 1946S. Next up now, Sand Digger comes back out. Sand Digger back out. First coin in this row is a 1956D. Nice bright red coin. Hey, Anthony, no, you didn't miss anything, really. You missed me playing the game for Taco John, and Sandigger got a $10 chip. Calipigian comes up next. Calipigian, 1957D. A little bit of a Larry up there on that one, but it's a 1957D. Hello, Wanda. And there's Frostbite. Hello, Frosty. Here's Malcolm. Malcolm up again. 1948. 1948. I'm trying to make sure that I always speak directly into the microphone because my voice is wavering somewhat. And it makes it a lot easier for you to hear me if I'm talking directly into the mic. So I've got Paul here. Paul with a 1953 Philadelphia. And next up, Cat Morgendollar. Cat Morgendollar gets a 1940D. Correct? 1940D. Yes. I was thinking there for a second. It looked like a 40S. I have gone to the point in my life where I have to have microscopy to see much of anything. So that's Cat Morgendollar there. Next up, Jesse. Mr. Minter. Mr. Minter picks up how a 1946 D. 1946 Denver. Clear the frogs. There we go. Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray. Yeah, Kelly Ray gets a 1958. 1958 Philadelphia. Thanks, Roger. I appreciate that. It does sound a little bit better than it has. Richard, of course, 3 days ago? 3 days ago, I don't think I could speak at all. Well, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I couldn't talk any of those days. 55D, I woke up with the miraculous ability to speak just a little bit yesterday. I actually ran the auction, did okay with that. What was the type of pull that we was talking about in the email a few weeks ago that I got left out of? I don't know, Anthony. Here's one for Raymond Longy. Raymond, 1944D. 44D for Raymond. Now see, usually I'd be talking a lot louder than I am. The only reason I have any voice at all is because I'm willing to speak in a very, almost a soft, nearly timid voice. Here's one for Kelly Michaud. Kelly Michaud gets a 1940 Denver. 1940D. Do the onion, Kelly says. Do the onion. Here's one for Adam. This is Coins and Ghouls. Still haven't changed his chips. 1952S. Good $200 a roll coin. Hard-headed. That's right, that's me. Malcolm. 38S for Malcolm. 1938S. That's a heck of a pull. Paul. 1949S. 1949S. Getting a little better each day. One for Doug. That being a month out of work. God. 1936 for Doug. Nice early BU coin. 1936. Pretend I'm barbecuing. Pretend. she says. What do we got next? Sissy? What do we got for Sissy? 56D. 56D for Sissy. Oh, we got another game chip. Another game chip. Who's going to get to play the game? And the game will be Mickey Fur. Mickey, here's your chance. Shine like a star, my man. You there? Oh, Mickey. Earth calling, Mr. Mickey. I'd like to give you some of that love, Wanda. Yeah, Anthony, send me another email. I'll be sure I'll make it up to you. Mickey's here. There's Mickey. Look at this. Look what you get as your first coin. A 58. We're going to call that higher or lower. Obviously, it's going to be lower. So lower, we go to 53. Mickey, next up. 53. We're going to go higher or lower than 53. Mickey says lower. Lower than the 53. And we have 52. 1952S. Okay, with 52, we're going to go higher or lower. I'm one ahead of him, I think. Waiting for another one to come up. Mickey, higher or lower? Lower, okay. And we have 1944. It is lower. So what about the next one? 1944, higher or lower? Mickey says higher than 44, and it is 1955. Higher or lower, Mickey? You're getting somewhere now. I think we're cooking with gas. Yeah, it is. It's lagging. You guys are about 20, 30 seconds behind me. So it takes a little while to play the game. But that's okay. So far we have, what do we have? We've got 5 coins so far. 5 coins so far. And so we've got the 55. We're going to call lower on 55. And it is 1940. San Francisco. 1940. We're going to do higher or lower than 1940. Higher or lower? Mickey says higher. Higher than 1940, and we have 1940. So that's a tie-up, and he wins that one. So we're going to do this one for his higher, and it's a 55. So now we're going to do higher or lower, Mickey, than 55. Do me a favor. When you're going to call a higher or a lower, please put the 2-digit date before your call. So for this one, place 55 and then your call. Higher or lower. Okay, Mickey, on 55, you saying higher on 55? Let's go ahead and start it with this one. Start it with this one. Just do a 55 and then your call. higher or lower? I want to make sure that I've got you straight. Okay, taking a chance. He's going to call higher on 55, and it's 1949. 1949 didn't work out for you taking that chance this time around, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coins out of that pool. 9 coins. Nice going for you there, Mickey. I appreciate it. Congrats to you. Next up, Farm Dog. And Farm Dog gets 1944D. 44D. After Farm Dog, Sureg for a 48D. 48D for Sureg. What was your score, Wanda? Didn't you get like 8? 7 or 8? Let's see what comes up next here. Stonecutter. Stonecutter. 1945. 1945 Philadelphia. Next up, Raymond. And Raymond, 1941D. 41D. Eight. That's right. Frosty. Frostbite comes out with the 1946. Ooh, that one's good. That one's got fingerprint on it. Tell us if you run that through APHIS and tell us who that was. I always wanted to do that. Take some pennies with fingerprints on them and run them through APHIS to see if it can identify a print. You never know when you might end up with a penny that has John Wayne Gacy's fingerprints on it, you know. 1940, Denver, for Cap Morgendollar. I get some other stuff stacked in here. And then one in the beginning. The average grade on these coins, probably 64 red. 63 or 64 red. Roger, it's a 57D. By the obverse alone, this is a 64 red. And by the reverse, I'd call it that or better, so it's probably a 64, maybe a 65 red. Gem BU. Or Elvis, right? I don't know if Elvis is an APHIS. I think they only put criminals and military people in there. Well, Elvis was military. I'm not sure he was military when they were taking fingerprints. It was a 53D for Jim Fletcher. Ooh, we have a bonus. Who gets the bonus? Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray, first coin, 1951. And second coin, 1953D. Wanda? Wanda. It was a 48, Philadelphia. Nice red 48, Philadelphia. Kelly Michaud, 1954S. Nice little 1954S for Kelly. Patrias Adrakis, 1944D for Patrias. Come up next, back to Kelly Ray. And Kelly Ray this time, 1953 Philadelphia. Raymond. Mr. Lungi, how about a 1956D? 1956D. Back to Petraeus. I dug deep for that one. 1947 Philly. When I update my site, will I have the ability to sort the listings by mint mark style and date size? Probably, yes. Taco John. $19.48 for Taco John. Fingerprints were taken on the application for concealed gun permit. But here's a question. His death in August of 1977 predates the APHIS system. What the? Well, this is coming out of here. That's a 72S, but the holder says 1950. That's coming out of here. How about a 41? Better coin anyway. That was different. Get a memorial. I know I bought that as a wheat. Turns out it's a memorial. Cat Morgan dollar. 1937S. 1937S for Cat Morgan dollar. So if Elvis's death predated the APHIS system, which is probably 1990s technology, there's Adam, 1954, for Coins and Ghouls. Hello, Sissy. Good evening, Sissy. Here's Crispy Mofo. Crispy. 54S for Crispy. Sissy. Well, we're just getting all kinds of sissy luck right now. How about a 1952S in really nice shape? There we go. That's a $200 a roll coin. Here's Ronald. Ronald Magany. About a 44D for Mr. Magany. Who's up next? Carl. And Carl gets a 1952S. Lots of 52S's coming out of this little portion of my pull inventory. These were very well mixed together. We may or may not see another one tonight. There's Ted Evans. 55 Philly. Hello, Aunt Laura. We have poker chips. There's up to 10 chips with each person's name. They buy into it prior to the show. And then at the show, we pull a coin for everybody's poker chip. These happen to be uncirculated wheat pennies. Uncirculated wheat pennies. And here's one for Jordan. Jordan, Parvis's grandson, 1955S. Parvis is probably out there watching. All right, let's see. And then when we get into this, you can get, here we go. That's what I was waiting to show you. Here's a 1936, and this one has toning on it. So it's a 1936 Lincoln Cent with a little bit of toning. Now look at that. Oh my gosh. That is a nice electric 1936 Lincoln Cent. Nice high value coin for Carl. Here's Ted. As I'm going through these, and remember these were $3.50 a piece. Here's 1944D. 1944D. Sand Digger. Back out to Sand Digger again. I require that the request to be in this be submitted more than 30 minutes prior to the show, because I have to get everybody's poker chips out. There are a lot of poker chips in this bag. There's a lot of them in here. And I have to get everybody's ready prior to the show so we can do the show without a hitch. And I can't do registrations or purchasing in or anything like that during the show because, well, as it stands, this is probably going to be a 2 to 3 hour show. There's a 41D for Wanda. It's a good date, actually. Born Rebel. Yeah, the shows are at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 54S for Born Rebel. Our Alaskan friend. Who's up next? Crispy? Crispy with a 58D. It's not everybody's a winner. Chicken dinner. How long has this show been running? About 30 minutes. There since 8 o'clock. Kimberly. 1952S. 52S for Kimberly. Yeah, these are fun. We sell the spots for these during the auction. And our auction will be this coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Mickey Fur, 1955. That's the same as the first coin. And your pull, well, I think we ran into another 55. Here's Josie. Josie Fletcher, 1952D. 1952D. Okay, I'm going to pound it through a few here. Jesse. 49S. Parvis. Got a 36. A little bit of a fingerprint, but it is a 1936. That one happens to be the fingerprint of John Dillinger. Here's my point. Prove me wrong. Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray now. With a 1957. Next up. Kelly Michaud. Kelly Michaud, 51D. Next up. Alaska Born Rebel. 53. 1953 Philly. On Cuba Libre. Did you go to, what is it, Orlando? Here's Paul. 1951. Calipigian. Calipigian, 1945, Philadelphia. This one could be a double die obverse or reverse. It's possible. You've gotten several DDOs in these pulls? Well, let's see if you get another one. Here's a 52S. Most likely only going to be an RPM if it's anything. I don't think there's any double die obverses known for 52S, but that doesn't mean you can't possibly get something that's undiscovered. Here's Tyler, 1944. 44 Philadelphia for Tyler. Made fresh at home. I'd love to have one of those, I think, right now. In fact, I may actually just get some alcohol. Carl, 44. An adult beverage is always a nice thing to have once in a great while. Whiskey, Coke, and lime. Adam. This is Coins and Ghouls, for those who don't know. That's 1950. Denver. Nope, that's a San Francisco coin, isn't it? Yep, it is. Yeah, it looks like it has a really nice RPM. But it's a 50S, not a 50D. But it's for Adam. Next up, Mr. Shay Shay. Well, let's see what Mr. Amin gets. I've got a 52 Philly. 52 Philadelphia. Next up, Roger. Roger, 1953D. 53D. You know it. San Francisco treat. Rice Aroni. Very last thing you need is a walrus singing to you right now. This one for Ronald. Ronald, 1941, Philadelphia. Ted Evans. Ted? Got a 54S for Ted. Stone Cutter. 44S for Stone Cutter. Frostbite. One of these days I'm going to have a party in my backyard with a open bar. BYOB. You guys can all show up. All you got to do is get here. Sissy. Again, Sissy. It's 1936. 36 Philly for Sissy. Let me reposition my light and see if it helps. That might help. Let's see how this does. It's one for Roger. Roger now. 1945. 1945 Philadelphia. Name the date so you can put in for time off. Ronald Magany. You know what? If you get drunk enough, Sherman does sing. There's a 41D for Ronald. It's a Woody. $41D Woody. Let's see, what do we have now? Born Rebel. 56D. 1956D. Oops, I don't have any thin ones up here. There we go. I find a way to divide my box. Divide my box. Kool-Aid and coffee. What? Penny Hoarder. What does Penny Hoarder get? It's a 54D. It's not marked on the holder. I guess I'd rather it not be marked and be right than be marked and be wrong. Kelly. That's Kelly Michaud. There's a 54D for Kelly Michaud. Who's up next? Up next, Josie. Josie gets a 1938S. How's that? 1938S. Nice. VU coin, 1938S. Those are not easy to get. Shay. Shay, 1944. Next. Malcolm. 1940S. A little darkly toned down, but it is nice uncirculated coin. Crispy. Here's a 1954D. I happen to have one of those pallets for alcohol where I can drink an alcoholic beverage and not even have another one for 4 months, 6 months, a year. And then I just break it out one evening because I feel like it. And I do. There's a 41 Philly. Have a couple of drinks and then put it away again for another 6 months. If alcohol could go bad, it would go bad in my house for sure. Mr. Fletcher. 51 Philadelphia. Mr. Fletcher. 51 Philadelphia. Mr. Worley. James. 46D. 1946D. And that one in that box. Okay, got one left in there. Let's see who it is. Taco John. Taco John's going to get the last coin in this box, and that will be a 1950D. 1950D. All right. There we go. Get these out of the way. All right, next up. Doug. Here's a 1946 for Doug. 1946 Philadelphia. Shay. Shay up next. 1944D. 1944D. Sireg. 1937D. 1937D. That's a good one. Malcolm. 1957. 57 Philly for Malcolm. Let's see what we got next. Carl. 1958. We'll do 2 hours. Anything beyond 2 hours, I may not even make it for 2 hours. We'll go until my voice gets real scratchy. There's a 44. It's supposed to be a 44D. I'm just going to put that in the copper. It's got a big spot right where the mint mark is. Here's a 46D for Richard. 46D. And for Ronald. Ronald gets a 38S. This has got a spot on it, but it is a 1938S. Ronald again. 49. 49 Philadelphia. Miss Born Rebel. 1954S. 54S for the Born Rebel. What do we have next? Jesse. Mr. Minter. 1957 Philadelphia. 57 Philly. Jesse. Back to Jesse again. 1951 Philadelphia. 1951P for Jesse. I'm telling you guys, my voice is doing far better than it has been the last few days. Here's Josie. I should have tried to come on at one point or another. There's a 52. Now, this one's got the typical planchet wash issue that the early 50s Philadelphia cents generally have, which is why the high-grade coins are very valuable. I should have tried. I almost tried to come on a few days ago. I was going to write up cue cards and flip through cue cards and let you guys know that I missed you. Calipigian, 1958. I really did miss not being able to come on here and do the broadcasts that I enjoy doing. Here's a 55 Philly for Mr. Adams. Born Rebel, back again. Ooh, 1937S. 1937S. Nice, nice, nice. What we got next? Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray. How about a 1940D? 1940D for Kelly Ray. Thank you, Cat Morgan Dollar. Richard. 55, Philadelphia. Still got 2 games in here hiding somewhere. And we got a bonus. And who gets the bonus? Taco John. Well, Taco John is getting his share today. That's for sure. Neither one of them are great. They're good, but not great. It's a 55S and a 56D for Taco John. 2 for the price of 1. Next. Miss Fletcher. Josie. 1953. Says it's a Denver. It is. A 53 Denver. Patreus. There we go. Look at that. 1934. Nice uncirculated 1934 for Patreus Adorakis. That is nice. Raymond. 44D for Raymond. Wanda. Here's a 46 Philly for Wanda. Did you get a Sherm hair bonus in there? I didn't see it. I usually knock those out of the way. Not necessarily because I want to be all hygienic and not give you dog hair. I don't really care about that. I just don't want you trying to clone him. You never know. In this particular case, you might even have a, you might get a Mickey's dog hair. because some of these coins have been to Mickey's house. There's Kelly Michaud, 1950. Denver, 1950D. Ha! How about $10? Who gets the $10? Sand Digger. What is it with you and $10 chips? That's two of them. Let's get you a coin. Actually, I need to get you a coin to go with the first one. So your 40D. There's a 40D, that's one. And then we'll draw one out of the box at random. That's a 58D. So I forgot to get you a coin with your first chip. Mr. Fletcher. $41S. $41S. Yes, that is two, Sand Digger. This one for Sureg. Two, and the only two drawn so far tonight have gone to Sand Digger. 45S for Sureg. Cap Morgan dollar. $1945D. $1945D. Raymond. There's a 1955S for Raymond. Next up, Sureg back. And 53 Philly. 53 Philly for Sureg. Next up, Shay Shay. Shay Shay. 45D. 45D for Shay Shay. My next pull will also be a BU wheat pull. I'll probably sell it this Tuesday. Frostbite. 1954 Philly. Of course, since this is one of those things that I don't necessarily have a limit, you can get in on it any time. You just have to email me, cd@coppercoins.com. If somebody wants to put it in there, they can. Email me, cd@coppercoins.com, to get in on this one before Tuesday. Here's Mickey. 40S. 1940S. Uncirculated red-brown. Got a couple of bits of Larry on there. Born Rebel. I really do want somebody to run one of these coins through APHIS sometime to see if the fingerprint comes up. The 46 for Born Rebel. Crispy. A 42 plain. 1942 Philadelphia. Philadelphia freedom. Calipigian. Calipigian. What does Calipigian get? How about a 1940 Denver? 1940D. Next up, Raymond. This is 1948 Philadelphia for Raymond. Man, this dog's over here sawing logs. Singing a song, sawing logs. Malcolm. 51 Philadelphia for Malcolm. 51 Philly. Patreus. Back to Patreus. 1952D. 52D for Patreus. Next up. Sorry I'm being so quiet. Run. Slouch in my chair and you can't hear me. Ron Isaac. 1955 Philadelphia. Here we go. That's Chubby Pop Chaser. That's his first pull. First one ever. What does Chubby Pop Chaser get? Oh, how about a 1943 Denver? 43D for Chubby Pop Chaser. Coins and Ghouls. Adam, how about a 54D? It's got a lot of 54s. Roger. 50D. 1950D for Roger. Oop, we got a bonus. Who gets the bonus? Doug? Doug gets the bonus. He's going to get these 2 coins. So 45S, 1945S, and a 1954S. Flip those last 2 digits around. Give you San Francisco on both of them. All right. Let's see what we got next. Mr. Magany, Reynolds. 55, Philadelphia. 55, Philly. Next up. Oh, looky there. Another bonus. Let me go all the way to the back of the bag. See if we get somebody we haven't seen. Well, Chubby Pop Chaser. A 56D. And a 48 Philadelphia. 56D and a 48 Philadelphia. There we go. Tyler. 1940D. 1940D for Tyler Lane. One out there for Frosty now. A 41 Philadelphia. I got one for Mr. Worley. It's a 46 Philly. Wish I had somebody to count me on my per hours. Oop, there's Mr. Worley again. See how many of these I draw in an hour. The 55S. Just draws, not counting games, bonuses, or anything else. Just curious. See about how many I make it through in an hour. Ted Evans. A woefully used chip. 52D. Just shows that Ted's been with us for a very lengthy period of time. It's like faded blue jeans. Here's Mark Thomas. Good evening, sir. Taco John. 46D. Is that a D? Yes. It's for Taco John. The most I'm aware of, 5. 1958D. Calipigian, 51S. 51 San Francisco. It's 1958D 1mm21, I believe, is a die that has bits and pieces of 5 different D's in it. There's Penny Hoarder 1941S. Next up, Raymond, 1951S. Was that 51S for Raymond? And next up, Crispy. Crispy does a 50S, 1950, San Francisco. And Cap Morgan dollar. That's the last coin in this row is a 1946S. How about that? All right. Get myself some room here. Still got to get more room. That's about all that's going to fit in that row. All right. So here we go. Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley, 1952, Philadelphia. 4 to 5 per minute. That sounds about right, probably. Born Rebel. 1950D. Of course, if I'm going through them like this, I could do about one every 10 seconds. Jordan. 56D. Beautiful coin. Mr. Fletcher. And Mr. Fletcher gets a 41S. 1941, San Francisco. Stone Cutter. 1940, Philadelphia. Sareg. 51D. Ooh. That's got a heck of a fingerprint. I'm going to take that out. I'd rather give him this coin. It still has a fingerprint. But it's a 50S. It's a nicer coin. Next up, Kelly Michaud. 46S for Kelly Michaud. Frosty. 48D. 1948D. Mr. Worley. 1950D. 50D. 1950D. Crispy. Another 50D. Next, Mickey. 52D. 1952D. And a free Sherman here. Paul. 42. Philadelphia, 1942P. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way through tonight. Tyler? I'll try. All right, Tyler with a 54S. Next up, Taco John. 51D. Born Rebel. Born Rebel with a 44D. 1944D. Adam. Coins and Ghouls. 52D. 1952D. Jordan. It's at 54. Philadelphia. Chubby Pop Chaser. The 44D. Next, Atreus. Is a 53D for Petraeus. Sissy. 48, Philadelphia. 48, Philly. Carl. 52D. 52D for Carl. Sand Digger. It's a 51D. Ron Isaac. 1950S. 1950S. Kelly Ray. It's a 46S. Shay Shay. 48D. 1948D. Next up, Richard. Was a 55D for Richard. Next up, Penny Hoarder. Woohoo! Penny Hoarder gets a 1934 Philadelphia. 1934 Philadelphia. Nice red BU coin. Good one for Penny Hoarder. Haven't seen him in a while. Oh, we still got a lot of chips. Roy Wheeler. A 1948 Philadelphia. 48 Philly for Roy. Mickey. It's a 41S. 1941S. Doug. It's a 41 Philadelphia. 41 Philly. Sareg. It's a 58D. Showing up butt first. But it's there. It's a 58D. I got to take some more of these out of here. I'll run out of room. Loosen things up just a little bit here. All right. Next up, Kelly Michaud. Kelly, 1945 S. 1945 San Francisco. And here is Chubby Pup Chaser again. Now, the 1956D. Chubby Pup Chaser. Next up, Farm Dog. $1955 Philly for Farm Dog. This looks like a Woody. Got stripes on it. Okay, here's another one. A Teens Pull. Captain Morgendollar. It's got a 44D. 44D. Jordan. 52S. Another coin out of a $200+ roll. Tyler Lane. 51D. Jesse. 45. 1945. Ted. 44D. Ron Isaac. 1955S. A 55S. Parviz. The 44D. wonder how many people I could get involved in an early Wheats pull. I mean, I could do it where you got winners and losers, of course. Because, ooh, look at that. Nice bullseye toning on that 52. That's for Ronald. Let's see what we got on the reverse. Ooh, still a nice bullseye. How about that? Ronald gets a nice one there. Oh, I've got the coins for it. Of course, I don't have uncirculated coins that have to be circulated. But even circulated, you know, I could do some 22Ds, 21S, 24Ds. I could do stuff like that as the kicker coins. And then there'd be a pretty hefty amount of lower grade coins too. But I could even it out nicely where we have some good winners out of that. If that's something you guys think you might be interested in, I'll work on getting set up for it. We'll probably do those at I'd probably have to go $4 a coin. Stone cutter 40D 1940 Denver for stone cutter. Now we'll talk about it. As soon as I can get some voice back, we're going to have a show where we're going to just sit and discuss the kinds of things that I could carry that would make you excited, things that you want to see. And if it's more games, we can do more games. Sissy 48D. Parvis gets, it's lot 171 pen. What is this? 54D. A quality 24D. What is a quality 24D? What grade does that equal? Matthew, I also do nickels. I do a proof nickel pull. Jesse, 54S. I do proof nickel pulls and I do proof penny pulls. Those are $2, $2 or $2.50 a piece. Carl with 55D. 55D. Taco John. The 51D. Yeah, 14D is not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. There will be some 14S's and something like that, but there won't be any 14Ds. I mean, I'm not afraid to put some nice coins in, but there's not going to be any of the high dollar keys. Those are hard enough to find just to sell. Josie, 52S. You tell me what quality 24D you need, and I'll make sure you get one. Richard, 39. I have probably 100 to 150 1924Ds. They range, good, very good, up to probably almost AU. Okay, I got a couple more. I'm going to be drawing out of a different box that I have over here to fill this one up. So, Stone Cutter comes up next. It's a 1942 Philadelphia. It's got a spot on it. Yeah, the 09S VDB is not going to happen. Just being real. Just being realistic. Penny Hoarder. It's a 45S for Penny Hoarder. And we'll call that box done. didn't work well. Trying to get myself in a position here when I could do my job. And I am making it more difficult on myself. Here's one for Malcolm. I'm good at that. Making things more difficult than they need to be. Here's a 51S. 1951S. Well, the money isn't the issue, Stonecutter. I just need to know what quality you look for. I mean, what grade? There's a 43D for Sereg. Nice one. Mr. Worley. There's a 50S. 1950S. Paul. 57 Philadelphia. Well, if I can carry extra money with me when I go on my long trip next month, I will do what I can to root out as many key date coins as I can. 52D. There for Crispy. Calipigian. Calipigian 1936. 1936 Philadelphia for Calipigian. Nice BU coin. Farm Dog. Well, there's another 1936. 36 Philadelphia. No, I didn't know anything about that. Lexington, where? Kentucky? Taco John. I wasn't aware of that. There's a 42D. That'd be something to go out metal detecting and just kind of pull up. Kimberly. 1954. A guy one time who pulled up a small mason jar, partially full, it's a jelly jar, partially full of gold coins, next to a pond in Missouri. There's Ronald. There's somewhere to the tune of about $30 or $40 face value in gold coins. Yeah, Matthew, I am in the works of getting a hold of the people to get that. I'm wanting to go over and get it. I don't think it is up at 30,000. I think they pulled it down. I mean, if you can find it for sale at 30,000, let me know. I'll take it. $22D different die types. You mean the 22 no D die 1, 2, 3, 4? I haven't ever done that. I've had a couple of few here and there. Sold all of them that I had. I don't have any right now. I've had some 22 weak Ds. Kimberly. It's a 51. Well, I've done it before, Matthew. I'd do it again. If they are indeed for sale and the people want to sell them. 46D for Carl. I am a buyer, and I would go over there and pick them up. Nope, it wouldn't take a semi. 16-foot truck will do it. Roger. Roger with a 40D. 16-foot truck has a 5,500 pound capacity. 1 million pennies is less than 5,500 pounds. 1944S. for Adam. And I would be an immediate buyer. I'd have to... Yeah, U-Haul do it. Shay. Basically, I'd fly to LA, get the truck, use an Uber from the airport to get the truck, drive the truck to the location, spend a day loading, and 3 days driving back to North Carolina. 3 or 4 days. Took 5 days to get here from Portland, Oregon, so 4 days. Run, Isaac. Of course, if you just drive straight through in shifts with 2 people, you could probably do it in a day and a half. A 45D for Ron. Richard? I just need to know if they do have them available for sale, and if they do, how do I reach them? I've already sent a message to them on Instagram, given my information. They never called me back. So if they're serious about selling them, I'm serious about buying them. Taco John, 1940S. That looks more like a long hair. That one's an eyelash. All kinds of goofy things. Taco John got a 40S there amongst all those hairs. Chubby Pop Chaser. 52, Philadelphia. Frostbite. 51, Philadelphia. I may actually get this done this evening. Jesse. 53D for Jesse. Mickey. A 44D for Mickey. Yeah. If I did the early circulated pull, they would grade anywhere from, VG up to extremely fine, maybe AU. Richard, 48D. I'd throw some goodies in there. I mean, I'd salt it nicely with goodies. Get enough that everybody would have an average of having a decent $10, $15 coin for their effort. Frostbite, 1941. Just like this. I mean, there's a lot of coins that I call the loser coins because they're slightly lower grade. They're, $1.50, $2, $3 coins. And then there's a lot of coins in here that are $5, $6 coins. I got them cheaper than that, but they're $5, $6 coins. And then there's other coins that I'm actually losing some money on, but they're the ones that they're the $15, $20, $25 coins. There's a 54D for Penny Hoarder. And a $10. This is going to be Sandigger again. Nope. Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley. And Mr. Worley, gets a 58 Philadelphia to go with it. The important part, though, is the $10 for Mr. Worley. You got close, Sandigger. You got real close. Pulled you out right after the effect. 1952D. That would have been almost funny. Almost. Parviz. 41S. 41S. Would have been almost funny, but I think there'd be some upset people. I don't know. Everybody, it's always an even chance, one way or the other. 1957 here for Cap Morgan Dollar. So it's a very even chance type thing. I mean, the chance that I would pull 3 of the same name past $10 chips is almost like astronomical, but it's very possible. It can be done. 48 for Stonecutter. Raymond Lungi. And Raymond with a 1954. 54 Philadelphia. So close, but yet so far away. That's right, somebody has to win it. There's a definite winner in every game. 45. 45 for Adam. That's the way I do it. There's definitely going to be some $10 winners. There's definitely going to be some bonus chips. There's definitely going to be some game chips every time we do this. That's just the fun of doing it. Josie? Some coins like this one right here. I mean, this is a 1952D. 1952D coin. It's going to cost me 75 cents, $1. So it's one of the quote-unquote loser coins. But, you know, somebody's going to get a really nice 1938S. Someone's going to get a nice BU 1934. You know, somebody gets the real nice toners they get thrown in. Somebody gets the game and ends up pulling 15 coins on their purchase. There's a 55S for Jordan. That's just how it goes. Some are winners, some are losers. $52D for Paul. Born Rebel. What do we get? 40/40 for Born Rebel. Ah, Kelly, you're sweet. I will not be going to the fun show this summer. I will not be going to the fun show this summer, just in case anybody was wondering. I will not be in Orlando because most of the month of May and most of the beginning of June were sick days for me. I did not make enough money to even bother trying to travel and buy inventory. So I am not going to be able to go. My next fun trip will be in January. 1940 for Cat Morgandella there. Chubby Pop, you've missed your name a few times. You've missed your name. Doug? 54. But I'm sure there's more to be revealed with your name. Josie again. Josie, 46D. 1946D. Frosty. 1940. 40, Philadelphia. Shay. 53. 1953, Philadelphia. What's going on here? What is not equaling? There we go. Okay. Wasn't standing right. Just weird. Never figured out exactly what was wrong, but it is unimportant at this point. I got a coin laying down in the box and it's bothering me. There we go. What is this? Is that? Oh, man. That's a Cat Morgandella chip. Cat Morgandella, did I pull yours last? My chips got messed up in Cat Morgandella's Cab Morgan Dollar's chip came out. I'm going to give him this coin, 1940 Philadelphia. I think that's the right one. Things got messed up in my box. Wanda, 1952. Color Pigeon. Is that 40D? 1940 Denver. Okay, I got you the same one. I can't do the replay while I'm doing the show. That's the hard part. I can't go back and look at what we said. Taco John. Because then I start getting in a duplicity in time. Because I'm going back in time to look at time. Which means that I keep going back in time to look at time. And I never catch up. Kelly Ray, 53D. Think about that for a minute. Right. Patreus. Up next. Patreus. 50D. Okay, Mark, I appreciate it. Thank you. And get my... Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is. I swear. If my head weren't attached, I would lose it. Ron Isaac. 52S. Next up, Adam. Coins and Ghouls. It's a 53P. 53 Philly. Next up, Penny Hoarder. $1941. Next up, back to Patreus. 54S. It's a pretty one. And that's a nice coin. Okay. Crispy. Got 48D for Crispy. Who is next? Josie? It's a 45D. 1945D. Next up, Malcolm. And Malcolm gets a 55D. Yeah, Wanda. Swat him upside the head. Do your due diligence. Give Chuck a like. He suffered long and hard to get to this point. Here's Roy's second one. Roy gets a 52D. That's a pretty 52D right there. That's a pretty nice coin. Back to Patreus. 56. Philly, 1956. Patreus doubles up for a 1947. Stone Cutter, a 48 with an eyelash here. What? Get off of there. There we go. Parvis. 54S. It sold 9 hours ago. Yeah. It's alright. Ron Isaac at 55S. Josie. 1936. It's not like I didn't try to get a hold of them. I did send them a message. They just didn't get back to me. Calipigian. 47. Philly, 1947. Crispy. $1957. Mr. Adams. 46D. Last I heard, they were going to want a lot more than the $25,000 they initially put them up for. That they were looking for $1 million penny, which you know what the hell that means, but there's no $1 million pennies in those. Wake up, grow up. Kelly. I just thought maybe it would be nice for the prestige of being able to own some of the coins that came from the LA Horde. I would market them as such. I mean, not for a special premium or anything. Stonecutter got all 40-somethings. Well, Frosty has something to say about that. There's a 40D for Mr. Worley. 1940 Denver. My voice is about to wear out, but I think I'm going to push through this. Sureg. 55S. Paul with a 43. Philadelphia. 43 Philly. Box management is an issue this evening. Parvis? Wait, there isn't $1 million penny. No, sir. 52D. Not a Lincoln cent anyway. Not even close. Jim Fletcher. Ooh, 37S. 1937S for Mr. Fletcher. Oh, there's a lot of them on ePay, including the ones run over in the parking lot. All kinds of other ways about it. 49D. I really wish there was a way that I could, just for, a few days, take over the entire numismatic community, kind of like Kim Jong-un, and do my Supreme Leader show for them. The way everybody sees it, everybody has a chance to digest it. And I would do what I could to straighten the entire market out and make it so that everyone understands what is honest and what is not. I see so much dishonest crap happening online. I wish I could just make it all go away. Shay. How about a 1939 for Shay? 1939, nice red BU coin. Frosty. 56. 56. Richard. 44D. Carl. Anybody pay that much for a 43 bronze is crazy. 54D for Carl. But I guess if there's two crazy people in a room and they got a coin that both of them want and they've got money, you could sell anything for $1 million. Jordan. There doesn't have to be a precedent. 46S. No precedent needed. I can remember when a nice 1943 copper would sell for $8,000, $10,000. That was fewer than 20 years ago. 1944D for that was for Parvas. Yeah. The name's mixed up there. A 67? Remember ever seeing a 67? Are you sure it's not a Chinese fake? Ron Isaac, 55D. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of pure clickbait out there on YouTube. I try watching some of these videos, and some of them are just difficult to even watch. They're difficult to even start to watch. That's something sitting on the coin. That's not damage. It's 1940 for Mr. Adams. Mickey Fur. How about a 54S? Josie. Huh. I can see a 55 DDO for, well, maybe not $30,000, but if it's near perfect, yeah, sure, why not? Kelly. I'm still working on my first $1,500 one. It's a 50D. I have been a part of having 3 55 double dies graded, authenticated, and have never owned one. 45D. I think I've probably handled nearly a dozen 55 double dies for photography or authentication or other, but I've never owned one. I've never sold one. I played a chief role in selling a couple of them. It's a 47S. It's 1947S for Penny Hoarder. Matthew, that really kind of depends on what you're talking about, what you think you're seeing. There's a lot. There's a 52S. That's a pretty one too. There's a lot that can be said one way or the other for coin roll hunting. There are a lot of coin rolls out there that are decent rolls to find good stuff. There's a lot of unsearched stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there that has nice high-grade material in it. The 53S. You just kind of you got to watch who you're buying stuff from, because there's people out there who will they'd sell their mother for $0.25. So, you know, they'll take money from anybody for anything, and they'll take any amount from you, preferably the most you'll possibly give them. Wanda. Is it 57 Philly for Wanda? We'll have to come on and do just a couple of hangouts sometime where we just chit-chat about stuff. Will you guys show up without having a show to do? 43 for Ted. Oh, I kind of wondered. No, there's a game token right there. So I'm still seeing one. There's still 2 games in here. Still 2 of them. Oh, there's a lot of really shitty people out there. That goes without saying. That's one part of why I went from being more of a researcher, writer, and dealer into just being a dealer, because I wanted to be a person who people could look to for good information, correct information, and good coins, where you might actually have a chance of finding some of the good stuff I write about. And I also wanted to be one of those guys who marketed the stuff to a point where if you had something you wanted to write back or sell back to the community, I'd be one of those guys who would buy it. You know, because you get a lot of people, they're going to sell a coin. They're going to say, oh, well, this is a $20 coin, and I'll sell it to you for $15. You're like, oh, cool. And you sell it to them for $15, a $20 coin. They come back to sell it back to you because they found an upgrade or something else, and they just want to sell the coin back. And like, oh, that's not worth anything. I'll give you $5 for it. And then they tell the next guy, oh, it's a $20 coin. I'll sell it to you for $15. I mean, there is a certain amount of money that could be made in this in general. Jordan 40S. And it shouldn't be made at the ignorance of someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Those are the people that you give a good deal and teach, because those are the people who need to learn, because those are the future of coin collecting. I'm kind of the past of coin collecting. I'm not really that much of a collector anymore. I don't really buy that much for me. So you guys would show up if I just did a hangout show. We got here one for Doug. I've been through at least 2/3 of this bag. I can't believe I've got 2 game tokens left in there. There's Chubby Pop Chaser. Sorry about that. 44D and a hair. So like I said, the hairs come free. Oh, we might do that. We might just have to do that. So we can talk about pretty much any subject you want to talk about. I'm thinking about trying to do, again, a show where you write in to my email and send me pictures of a coin you have questions about, and then I produce a show. There's a 53D Frostbite based on that mail call, where I go through and graphically answer questions. Wanda. 55D for Wanda. Yeah, see, Matthew, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Hope they sleep with one eye open. 56, Mr. Adams. But I'd like to do that mail call show. And I may do it with just some random emails that I have received from people, because I do. It was a 53. Pretty nice looking 53 there. It's actually a pretty decent grade. It's for Mr. Adams. Yeah, graphically, meaning I'll do photos or I'll do whatever it takes to illustrate the answer so that people can understand it, because most people are visual learners. They learn better when I can show them a picture of what they're trying to learn rather than just giving them a bunch of text. Here's one for Jordan with 55. Stonecutter. God, I still can't believe I haven't pulled those game tokens. 48. I'm not looking inside. I'm just reaching in, grabbing a chip, and they all feel the same. Mr. Adams. It's a 41S. Small day, large date thing. Now, well, the people that got 10 wheats and 3 Canadians, they don't know what they're doing. The 54S, nice one too, from Kelly. They probably skipped over 5 double dies while they were picking out their 2-cent Canadian coins. This one for Kelly Ray. Yeah, people who separate Canadian coins because they think there's some value, they're woefully misinformed. It's a 54D. A little bit of toning on that one for Kelly Ray. Showing different grades. I could do that too. There's one for Sand Digger, 52D. And Mr. Adams, 1936. Yes and no. PCGS grading is fine. It's just like anybody else's grading. And yes, you can learn from it. But there's a lot of people who have a lot of different grades of coins that are good coins. And they don't have to be PCGS graded. But yeah. Here's Wanda with a 1954D. There's two things about slabbed graded coins that are kind of troublesome a little bit. The first thing is they don't show well on camera because they're under plastic. The second is that sometimes these coins change while they're in the holder, and sometimes grading is inconsistent. And even with PCGS, grading can be inconsistent. And never a good idea to assume. I prefer to grade every coin, regardless of what holder it's in. I got to get another box. I thought I had plenty of boxes. I didn't. Master of Sense, do I actually know who you are? With that much experience, there's some likelihood we've crossed paths before. Because I've been around for a little while. Rick is a great guy. I like Rick Snow a lot. He and I have enjoyed some time together. We we got to the summer seminar in Colorado Springs one year. We were expecting it to be like 100 degrees outside, and the weather was more like 55, 60 degrees. It was freaking chilly. And Rick and I both got there with no jacket of any kind. And so the two of us took off in my car and went cross town to the Walmart, and Rick Snow and I were shopping for a long sleeve something to wear because it was cold. It's a 52D for Parvis. Chubby Pop Chaser. It's a 54 Philly. So we each found something that wasn't necessarily to our taste, but at least they had sleeves. Kelly Ray. A 57D, that's a pretty nice one. Sand Digger. It was a 55D for Sand Digger. Doug. It's a 41 Philly for Doug. I can probably put a show together on questions that I know people have and have asked and have asked at different times. Sissy. Ooh, 1937. 37 Philly for Sissy. Thank you, Master of Sense. I wish I knew who you were for sure. Send me an email, cd@coppercoins.com. I'd like to get to know you. Penny Hoarder. I know I've seen you on my shows for a couple of years now. 52D. I won't tell anybody else who you are or anything. I like to meet people. What? Dimebag Coins is here. Hello. Here's Wanda with a 55. 55 for Wanda. Are we really going to get us down to about a dozen chips before I pull a game chip? No. I just did. Okay, now who gets to play the game? Roger. Roger, are you around? Matthew, I never get tired of answering the same question. At times I've gotten tired of answering the same question to the same people over and over. Okay, James, I know who you are. I'm glad you're here. Roger. Roger. I think Roger may be gone. Alright, well, I will play for Roger until Roger shows up. So we started with a 50D. I have to go lower. And we get a 52D. So, unfortunately, I'm going to throw another coin in there. It's a 44D. How about one more? Just because I'm generous. It's a 51S. Okay, Roger will get 4 coins out of this. I don't want to see anybody walk away having lost right after they started. Ted. 54D for Ted. We do have another game somewhere. Jordan. 51S for Jordan. Penny Hoarder. 46S for Penny Hoarder. We've only got about a dozen chips left. We're right on 2 hours. So this should be just about 2 hours if I kind of push through. Let's see. Cat Morgan Dollar. There's a 57. There is another game chip in here. There's one for Adam. There's a 58. I don't know when I'm going to draw it. 51S. Roger. 41. Philadelphia 41P. Chubby Pop Chaser. Ooh, 1938S. How about that? Nice BU 1938S for Chubby Pop Chaser. It's a good $10 coin there. Malcolm. 52D for Malcolm. We're getting down to the wire. Another one for Malcolm. Malcolm now, 1936. 36 Philadelphia Woody. Nice, nice. Next up, Born Rebel. It's a 1950D. 1950D. I might have had a lamination on the obverse. Methinks I could have. Get these so they stand up a little bit better. What do we got? We only got about 5 chips left in here. One of them's a game chip. Mr. Fletcher. 41S. Mr. Fletcher. Next up, Ted. 49 Philly. 49 Philly for Ted. Shay. I don't believe this. 56 Philly. If the game chip is last, it'll go to the person who I drew last. Mr. Worley. 46D. So instead of drawing your name after the game, it would be the one I draw before the game. 45D for Ronald. I got less than 5 chips left in here. It's got to come out soon. Raymond. It's a 55S. Got Paul. It's a 40D. 1940 Denver. And get these put over here. Fill this up a little bit more. There we go. Put this in front of it. There. All right. Farm Dog. 51. 1951. Okay. There it is. Game Chip. And Cap Morgendollar. You still here, Cap Morgendollar? I think you are. Cap Morgendollar, you're going to start with a 54D. 1954. Cap Morgendollar, higher or lower? Stonecutter, your chips are gone. I've got 3 chips left in the bag, believe it or not. $54D, higher or lower? Cap Morgendollar. 54 lower. 54 lower, we have a 53S. 53 higher or lower? F53, higher or lower? He'll be back here in just a second. 53 lower. He pulls a 51. 51S. 51S, higher or lower? Starting to get in that questionable zone now. Higher or lower than a 51S? $51 says lower. Gets a 44D. 44D now. You're right in the middle. Higher or lower? What does he say now? 44, he goes higher. And good thing he did. 57, 1957. Well, this should be pretty easy. Higher or lower? At 1957 now. $57, he's going to go lower. And well, it is. So 43S. 1943. Higher or lower? I wish we didn't have the lag. Hey, Taco John. Got Cap Morgendollar playing the game right now. He's, what is this, about 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins in right now. 43 says higher. Gets a 45. 45S. 45 higher or lower? I think we're doing okay, Taco John. I'm down to 3 chips left in the bag. Finally pulled the last game chip. Did 4 games tonight. You got the first one, Taco John, but you weren't around, so I played it for you. I think you got 7 or 8 coins out of it. 45. We're going to say lower than 45. And no, it's a 54D. 54D. So Cap Morgan Dollar, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coins out of that. You got Wanda's record. Not your own personal record, but you got Wanda's record. You caught up with her. Okay. Next in, Chubby Pop Chaser. It's 1953, Denver. 53D. 2 chips left. Jordan. It's 1954, Philadelphia for Jordan. Right? Wanda, last chip in the bag. Last chip of the night. And she gets a 1955S. I tell you what, this wasn't as painful as I thought it would be. I made it through in pretty good time. Just about 2 hours and 10 minutes. That works. Well, we're going to be doing a couple of reveals tomorrow. I'm going to be doing at least 2 reveals, possibly 3 tomorrow. And then I have 1 reveal left before the show on Monday. And Monday we will be doing a new reveal show. Tomorrow evening, Thursday evening, will be a Whatnot auction. Mickey will be running the auction. He will be here in studio running the auction tomorrow evening. Okay, Patrias. Let's see. Well, and then we're picking up a regular schedule now. I was gone for close to a month, but I think now we're starting to get everything back together, and I'm doing better. And so, did Wanda get a whole set of 55s? 55 PD and S? How about that? You're hunting for 2 more individuals? Okay. Just send me an email. All right, Farm Dog, you take care of yourself. I'll talk to you later. And to everyone else, you guys have a great night. Great rest of the week if I don't see you, but I'll be looking for you to be on Whatnot. That'll be tomorrow evening. And I think I'm probably done for the night. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.